Hello, my friends. You're probably wondering why I'm dressed like I'm about to go biking, and instead of teaching a yoga class. Well, that's because I'm just getting back from biking, and I thought what I would do for you guys today is to show you some yoga stretches or stretches that I do after I bike, and that maybe you could do or try to. So, the thing about biking is that, as much as it is a lot about the legs, there's also a lot happening in the upper body. So, what we're going to do is we're going to actually, you'll see, it ends up being that we're going to stretch most of the body, because, everything's interrelated. And you probably know that already when you're doing one thing. It's like you hurt your back, and then next thing you know, you're having difficulties with your fingertips. I don't know. Just making stuff up now. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is we're going to start from the head all the way down to our toes. When you're biking, depending on the angle of your torso, like if you're road biking, obviously you're more forward, yeah. When you're mountain biking, you're a little bit more upright. When you're cruising, you're kind of upright. But either way, your neck is getting involved, right? So what we're going to do first is we're just going to bring our knees together, wrap your arms around the back of your thighs, and then just go ahead and let your head come down towards your knees. And then just try and let your head be very, very heavy. Soften your face. You can be in a tight shape, you could be in a more open shape. So if you were in a more open shape, you would look maybe more like this. The important thing is to just let your head kind of fall forward, let your shoulders relax, let your face relax, let your jaw relax. And oftentimes when we're trying to let our head be heavy, we're still holding it up, so just take a moment to notice that. And so if your legs straight or knees bent, just start to pull your belly forward, lift your chest up, lift your chin up, and then just extend your legs if your legs were bent, and just come to this shape. And try to soften again your breath. Maybe you keep your eyes closed. So I have a lot of time right now in my schedule to be able to show you these movement patterns. But if you're very busy, then you can, speed this up. So maybe hold each thing for 5 breaths and then skip forward 10, 15 seconds. All right, right ear to right shoulder. Left fingertips to the floor. Shoulders pulling away from ears. Belly stays engaged. Chest stays lifted. Push the back of your head against an imaginary wall, and then float your fingertips up, kind of to where you find the most sensation. You can even move the thumbs forward and back. See if that changes it for you. Flip your palm up. Oh, that's a lot of sensation for me anyways. Try to soften your fingers. And then bring your left hand to your knee, right hand to the side of your head, and then just help yourself out. Big breath in, slow breath out. Left ear to left shoulder, right shoulder heavy. You have that little ribbon around your lower ribs, pulling everything in. Right fingertips to the floor. And soften your jaw. You can even slide your jaw kind of right to left a few times. Right fingertips are going to float. Yeah, Find the best sensation. Turn your palm up. Soften your fingers. Right hand to your knee, left hand to your head, and just gently press that up. Blink your eyes open and just start to rotate your wrists. So again, I notice actually when I'm mountain biking that my fingertips get a little bit numb sometimes, and I think that's because I put too much pressure on the palm of my hands, kind of between my thumb here, and the angle of my wrists is often not ideal. I try to correct that, but you get into these habits, right, of moving your body. Just normal. We just want to pay attention to what we're doing. So flick water off your fingertips. Press your palm forward. Pull your fingertips back. So mountain biking and road biking, very different impact on the body, but kind of the same shape of the body, a lot of the same muscles being used. Switch hands. So you want to push your palm away, but then draw your shoulder back. And then fingers down. Amazing. Hands on your knees. We'll just do some seated cat-cows. So hands on your knees, you're rocking forward, lift the chest up, shoulder blades together, chin up. That's your inhale. And then exhale around the spine, tuck the chin. Inhale, come forward, chin up, chest up, shoulder blades together. And then exhale, around the spine, tuck the chin. One more time. Inhale, forward and up. And exhale. Back to neutral. Now, if you have a bolster at home, I would suggest you go grab it. I'm not going to go grab mine because it's really high. It's upstairs. So I'm going to grab these pillows here. So I have one pillow, and I'm going to fold it in half like this, like so. And I'm just going to rest it on my mid back. So you want to make sure that your sit bones, your tailbone is still on the mat. And then go ahead and lay it back. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Open your arms out to a T. So supported fish, essentially, if you like to know the name of things, a supported fish. It can be low or high, it can be with a bolster, it can be with two blocks as well. As long as you have this chest opener. Yeah. That's Reggie, the neighbor's dog. My dog's around here too. That's Leo. Sounds like he's pretty hot. It is pretty hot today. Hopefully you're enjoying the weather. All right, slide your feet towards you so the soles of the feet are on the floor, and then just let your knees come out to the side. Bring your hands now to your belly. Keep your shoulder blades tucked underneath you. Chin is up. Two more breaths. Now, of course, I did mention that you could speed this up. You could also slow this down. This is a really great counter stretch to life in general. Oh, in so many ways. Yeah, we sit all day, we write, we drive, we text. We have this kind of curved spine for most of the day. And this is also a very vulnerable position, heart open. We don't tend to walk through the days in this heart open position. Nothing wrong with that, I'm just saying. This is a nice change from the way we generally walk around day to day. Okay, so you're just going to slip into fetal position. Remove your props. I'll put them off to the side. And then press yourself up to hands and knees. Here we go. Hands and knees. You're going to lower your belly down. That should feel nice after your back bend. And then curve the spine. Okay, so let's start with 90-90. So you'll bring the right knee forward and then just sit on your right hip, kind of glute area. You want to make a 90 degree or as close to 90 degree angle with the right knee, 90 degree at the groin. And you can have 90 degree in the back. You can also tuck that back heel in towards you. You're turning to face the right leg and then just start to come down any amount. So you could say upright like this. You could be all the way down. And then once you kind of have a feel for it, move your torso right to left and kind of decide where it feels best. So this could be glute, outer hip. Some people feel this in their knee, groin, lower back. It's a bit of a twist as well, so maybe you feel it in the lat side body. No, it depends. Depends on you. We're all different. And sometimes people will say to me, where am I supposed to feel this? And it's like, you're going to feel it wherever you're going to feel it in your body. As long as there's no pain. Yeah, we don't want to hurt ourselves. But the discomfort, that stretchy feeling, we just want to stay with that and breathe through it. And sometimes, for me, it's glutes, maybe because my glutes are more tight that day. Or maybe for you, it's knee, because your knee is just a limiting factor to accessing more mobility in your glutes. So it's all helpful. Just because I feel it in my glutes and you don't, doesn't mean you're doing it wrong or your body is bad or anything like that. It just means that for you, this shape is accessing a different part. It's opening a different part. Yeah. All right, so let's take the left hand back. You're going to sit up and then bring your knees up towards the ceiling or sky, and then easy windshield wiper. Yeah, one side and then the other side. So I went mountain biking today, which I haven't done much this season yet. And we're going to turn to the left now. I love mountain biking. Like when I talk about it, I get really excited. I'm not a professional. I wouldn't even call myself intermediate. I'm still kind of a beginner at it. It's kind of a moving meditation for me. Yeah, so you have your 90-degree shape. You're going to turn to face that leg and then start to make your way forward into a forward fold. Yeah, it's like a moving meditation for me. I have to be hyper-focused. Otherwise, I end up injuring myself. But I was riding today, and it was pretty intense. And I actually found myself wondering why I was doing this. Why am I not just a road biker? Because it totally made sense in that moment why people like road biking. It's just different, right? There's less obstacles. It's also a moving meditation. I think you get into the flow of the cadence of your pedals, and you can kind of just go, right? You just go. It's more about distance maybe and speed, whereas mountain biking is more about focus and speed and cadence as well, but not in the same way. Anyways, I just found that funny today. You can probably hear my dog. He wants to go inside. All right, let's come back up. Yeah, nope. There we go. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. Bring the soles of your feet together. So we did this already when we were on our backs. And we kind of do this with the 90-90 shape. So you're just bouncing your knees up and down, kind of releasing any kind of stagnant energy that might still be hanging out in those hips. And now we're going to do the front of the hips, the top of the hips, the hip flexors. So you're just going to turn again to face the short edge of your mat. Bring one foot forward. So you're in a low lunge essentially, knee over ankle, tuck your back toe, send that back knee back any amount, and then just let your hips be very heavy. Yeah. So don't worry so much right now about alignment. You just want your hips to be heavy. Try to pull that right hip down and then that sit bone towards the right heel. So your hips might not actually move, but it's the intention, the energy. Sometimes it helps to push your left knee down and forward. And then try to drop your tailbone even more. And drop your hips even more. Soften everything. And now straighten the right leg or the front leg. Right? So I'm on my right leg. Just straighten it. So it's half splits, but I don't want you to think of sending your hips back. I want you to think of straightening the front leg. You can have your toes down or you can have your toes up. Kind of choose what works for you. Make sure you're not rolling your ankle. Yeah, everything stays in line here. And then here we go again, back to your low lunge. So see, if you focus on just straightening the front leg, then going back to your low lunge is pretty easy. All right, plant your left hand, sweep your right arm up, sweep it back, and then maybe you grab that back foot. So I've popped up on my left, I've lifted my left palm up off the floor. I find that helpful. And then lower everything back down, lift up the back knee. Take that right foot or front foot all the way up and back, and then take a nice scorpion here, open. Okay. Bring the right knee down. Bring the left foot forward or other foot forward. Knee over ankle. Tuck your back toes. I can't really tuck my back toes right now because I've sort of injured myself, so I'm just going to kind of inch. Don't mind my back foot. Just ignore my back foot. Keep your back foot tucked. Let your hips be very heavy. So same kind of thing here. Notice if you're making these micro adjustments with your pelvis. Yeah. So if you let the hips get very heavy, if you try to drop the tailbone down, try to draw that left sit bone towards the left heel. So it's a little bit more dynamic. You're going to feel more. Maybe. I do. That doesn't mean you do, as per the last pose discussion. All right. Straighten the front leg. Yeah, just straighten. And again, you're going to find what feels good here, right? Just avoid sticking the opposite hip. So for me, it's the right hip out. You want to try and keep that right hip over the right knee. You're going to pull your tailbone back and then keep your toes in line with your ankle, knee, hip. Try to pull your heart forward. Again, you can point and flex. Point or flex. It's really up to you. Let's come back forward. Stay up on your right fingertips. Lift up the back foot and just try to reach that foot. Give yourself a nice quad shoulder stretch opener. more big breath in. Release. You're going to pick up that back knee and then find your scorpion shape. Stretch. And then bring the left knee to the mat. Both knees come together. Right knee comes behind left. And then go ahead and sit back on something. Yeah, so you could be sitting on your right foot on a block. You could extend the bottom leg, the right leg. We're just going to take 5 breaths here. So you can have your fingertips behind you and kind of pull your chest up. If you want to take a forward fold, you can do that as well. I'm going to take 3 more breaths. Come with the chin drop. And then up you come. You can press, let's do it the easy way. I like doing the twist. It's kind of a fun way of doing it, but for today, let's press ourselves back to hands and knees, uncross, and then just kind of move your hips around, maybe tap your glutes back, and then left knee behind right, separate your feet, and then slowly sit back on something. You want both sit bones to be on something. So maybe you're extending the bottom leg, or you're sitting on that foot, or a block, or your bolster, or your cushion, if you still have it close by. Yeah. Once you have that, take a deep breath in, and a slow breath out. Choose your torso position, so it could be upright, or it could be in a forward fold with a head drop. And then press yourself back up, lean back on your hands, uncross your legs, and then just give them a nice shake, a nice wobble, 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 up and down. Tuck your knees into your chest and roll back. Ooh. Oh, that's nice. Give your back a nice massage. By making knee circles, you can egg beater your knees. You can pump your knees into your chest a few times. And now we'll come to the final resting pose. You could take a Shavasana with your legs extended. You could have a supported Shavasana with blocks under your knees, or we could do a supported bridge. And so if you still have your bolster close by, or your cushion or towel or anything, that you could just lift your pelvis up off the mat a couple inches, and then you can keep your knees bent, or you could just extend your legs. It feels really nice for the front line of the body. Often when we're cycling, the front line of the body is contracted. So this is a nice counter. And your arms can be overhead, they can be by your side. It's really whatever works best for you. I'm just going to try and make sure you're not having too much sound coming into that microphone. Let's take 10 breaths here. Feel free to stay here longer if you'd like to, or you're going to slide your heels back towards you, lift your hips up off your prop. Lower your hips down and then roll onto your side, your favorite side. And let's just take a moment here. If you've taken my class before, you know that I love using fetal position, especially at the end of practice, as a way of thanking the body. And so, especially if you've just come back from a ride, just how amazing it is that your body can do these things. Not all bodies can do these things, and for that, I know I am grateful. Perhaps you can find a moment or something to thank your body for. And then with the top hand, just gently press yourself up. Maybe you keep your eyes closed. You find a nice, comfortable position, seated position. Hands to heart. This always feels amazing. Life, the body, the mind, everything feels amazing when you just slow it down and pay attention for a little moment. Thanks so much for showing up. Hopefully you feel great, and we'll see you again soon. Namaste.